6.
It is not.
Patty, you ready? We'll call this meeting to order. Announce that the mayor is absent, and I will be serving as the mayor pro tem tonight, along with Alderman Ken Papania is absent also, and all other aldermen are present. Turn my mic on. Can y'all hear me? All right. So we will start the meeting with the invocation by Chick Cody and the pledge led by Alderman Wade.
Shall we pray? Lord, we thank you for your goodness and your blessings. We ask your blessings upon this meeting and everyone here. Make it a point for us to please you in every way. In Christ Jesus' name we ask. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion to accept the agenda.
Make a motion to accept the agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Motion by Alderman Blackman, second by Alderman Wade. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we have a presentation tonight on the Ocean Springs Tree Canopy Project by Ms. Julia Weaver.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Julia Weaver, working on the Ocean Springs Tree Canopy Renewal Project that's being done under the auspices of the Ocean Springs Environmental Alliance. Yep, okay, next slide. This project is a voluntary project to develop and implement a tree planting and maintenance plan for Ocean Springs that will result in a tree canopy that provides at least 50% coverage in all neighborhoods. The tree canopy will feature a diverse mix of native tree species. Ocean Springs will become more resilient to heat, storms, and other hazards. Next. Oh gosh, we can't read that. The plan includes a current tree canopy, a tree planting and maintenance plan, fundraising, and staffing. And forward, please. Also, we cannot read that. I'll tell you about it. Ocean Springs is known for its beautiful oak-lined avenues and pine forests, from the Ruskin Oak to the Gulf Islands National Seashore. Trees give our town a unique character, encourage tourism, and provide habitats for native plants and animals. They also absorb air pollution and prevent respiratory illnesses, make our neighborhoods, homes, and businesses cooler, and help absorb and manage stormwater during storms and flooding events. Healthy street trees can also increase property values by between 3% and 15%. Next slide, please. The good news is that we've conducted an aerial survey of 1,100 random points around town and found that we have a beautiful and functional urban canopy with approximately 42% coverage. Between 40 and 60% is ideal for urban areas in the southeast. Our trees are already removing several tons of ozone, carbon monoxide, and particulate pollution from the air every year, and helping to manage stormwater. Next slide, please. However, the tree canopy is not uniform or equitable. We have several large undeveloped tracts in town. I wish I had my aerial map, but those of you who are aldermen know that we have some large tracts of undeveloped land out on Highway 90, and of course we also have the Gulf Islands National Seashore. We have forested bayou wetlands and headlands, so a lot of the places where we live don't have enough trees. On a hot day, the difference in tree cover between downtown neighborhoods and neighborhoods further east can mean a difference of almost 10 degrees in temperature. And the areas in pink are areas where we specifically have room for improvement, mostly because the development is newer and the streets are wider. So next slide, please. 2004, the image there shows, of course, prior to Katrina, and that we lost a lot of our tree canopy during the storm. And then the image from 2022 shows that we're trending in the wrong direction. So we would ideally like to get back to 2004. Next slide, please. The two images on the right are Hunter and Lakeview, and that shows where the difference in temperature can be up to 10 degrees. Next slide, please. This says we want diverse and native. Native trees because they'll do best here because they're purpose-built for our climate and our soils. They also provide habitat for our critters. They are set up to handle our kind of stormwater. But not just native trees, but also diverse trees. If we only depend on our live oaks, which we all love, and we have a blight or a pest, we could lose everything all at once. Next slide, please. So we want dense, native, and urban. 40 to 60% is what we can achieve in the southeast, and that's what we should look forward to. Next slide, please. Again, here's some slides from around town. These are streets that have lovely trees in them, but they're nice wide streets. It's hard to get enough shade. Next slide. These are streets in downtown or older neighborhoods, and the trees are bigger and the streets are narrower. Next slide, please. One of the primary concerns about having trees, additional trees, is what's going to happen to our homes and businesses during storms. We're all very concerned about that, but there are storm-safe trees such as these. These are all natives, and they either don't get very tall or they don't get very heavy. So you'd be able to safely plant those in your property and you wouldn't have to worry. These are some pictures of the storm-safe trees. The American holly, very beautiful, ornamental, can grow up to 30 feet tall, so it's not going to hang over your house and hurt anything. The river birch, very light at the top. I have one, it sheds limbs from the top all the time, can't hurt anything. Next slide, please. Also the sweet magnolia, again not very big, and the laurel oak, lots of room at the top. Next slide, please. Lots of our sister cities are undertaking this work for the same reasons that we are. They lost trees due to development and storms, and they see the benefits, and we'll be learning from them. Next slide, please. Community partners, I've spoken to Mayor Kenny Holloway. He's in favor of the project. We're working with local nonprofits, and I've come here to pitch this idea to the aldermen tonight. Again, this project would be voluntary. This is not additional regulations about trees. This is providing resources and information and enthusiasm to neighbors, commercial property owners, the school district, CSX, anybody who can help us with this. Next slide, please. The next steps are to finish the study. Go out and look at 200 individual trees to see what the species, condition, and size are. Provide you with that study, look and see where our opportunities are, and work together to increase our tree canopy. What would the city's piece of this be? It would be general support, introductions to people in your wards, your expertise and your knowledge about what's going on in your ward and where we could, what would work best. And then Mayor Holloway said that he would be open to, if we found funding, to having an arborist who could provide the expertise and the community outreach to make sure that we do this properly. So I wanted to give you guys my pitch, see if you have any questions. I know you have a busy agenda, but.
Thank you very much. We all love our trees for sure. And I would like, moving forward, to help people identify the locations to plant the trees, especially because, I mean, you can put them in the places that they end up having to be cut down. And insurance is dictating a lot of places they can be planted.
They can't be underneath the utilities, they can't be too close to the house, but and again, it's voluntary. If people don't want one at all, then we're gonna move on. But so
It's wonderful.
I will leave my contact information, and please reach out to me with any questions. Anybody?
Y'all have any?
Now, I want to get Raven to email a copy of the presentation, so we have that for reference as well.
We got one this afternoon. It's already been
Oh,
done.
today, okay. My bad.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Now it's time for agenda public comment. For items just listed on this agenda, please. You're allowed up to 3 minutes for a maximum period of 30 minutes. Anybody over here would like to speak on the agenda? Nobody?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Hey.
See, I'll get my glasses first, Bob.
Yeah, thank you. State your name, please. There you
Here
go.
last time, y'all.
He got his
My
list.
name's Davy George. I've lived here, I'm 68 years old, lived here all my life. All right, we're talking about the first agenda, and I believe it's the district coffee house, is that correct?
There is the district coffee, yeah. What item, Dave, you know?
Here we go.
That's agenda item,
4?
D, under zoning adjustment boards.
Under the zoning adjustment, D.
Start at time.
Yeah,
Go
we
ahead,
will.
go ahead.
Okay. Basically, I'm here as a resident. I'm opposed to that. I'm opposed to the expansion. If it includes expansion of that business, there's no room. Presently, Government Street is out of control, all right? The location of that business is on Government Street and State Street on the corner. You have Phoenicia on the left. Just north of it, you have The Lord Is My Help. It's in the same neighborhood as Murky Waters. The street's congested. I just can't see how you can have any more area for any type of expansion in that area. I don't know if they're expanding or what the plan is. All I know is I'm opposed to whatever that says.
Thank
Is
you.
that fair?
That's fair, thank
All
you.
right. I'll see you at the end of the meeting.
Okay, anybody else like to address?
Yes, you
I
said.
would. Lauren Carter, 1117 Iberville Drive. Is this on?
It should be.
They can normally hear me. I'll just have to speak louder. All right. Lori Carter, 1117 Iberville Drive. I'll speak too on that district coffee house, which is now going to be a bar. I recommend and I hope, and I think that a lot of residents would agree with me, that we would like a moratorium on bar permits. I'd like to know if this bar is going to have another rooftop band. that's gonna keep me up till midnight, 5 nights a week. That's all I have to say. I know y'all aren't gonna answer me like you did last time, unless does anybody have
Thank you,
anything to say? Thanks.
Anyone else?
Julie Lawn, 303 Front Beach Drive, and I just have to say I agree with Lori. Bars are fine, I go to them, but if it gets a point, you have too many and too small of an area.
So 7B, you're speaking about?
Yes,
The
but-
variance for setback?
No, I'm speaking with the District Coffee Company. But really what I wanted to say about it is, someone said they got a variance so it can go further up, or, I mean, what's the variance?
Give me,
I mean, is it going straight up or is
if
it
you would,
coming out?
please.
The variance is for a minimum building setback distance on the north and east sides of the parcel to 0. We're also going to add a second floor to the existing building for a bar area, restrooms, and open covered seating. Second floor, excuse me just a moment. The second floor is to be assessed by the stairs on the east and west State Avenue.
An elevator.
Should I get up on the podium?
You may, if you'd like to address them where they can hear you, please.
Not working.
Okay. I'm pretty loud. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Carter Thompson, Community Development Director. The variance is for minimum building setbacks on the north and east side of the parcel. The applicant's adding a second floor to the existing building. He's proposing on the second floor bar, restrooms, open space. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Open and covered seating. The second floor will be assessed by stairs, and they'll have an elevator on Government Street frontage. That's what he's proposing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you. So I guess my question is, we have a ordinance that talks about a site triangle. Does this apply to buildings also? Because I know there's also a building going up at Russell and Government Street, which is gonna be really close to the side setbacks. And I'm just wondering if this coffee shop is gonna be real close to the edge of the property line too, where there's no site triangle for safety. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the board? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to, Bobby.
All right,
How many did you like trees so much?
only on agenda item, Bob, you have to wait to the end if you got something that's not on the agenda item.
Good evening, everyone. Roland 30517 Rayburn. So what I understand so far is they want to change the footprint. As long as the elevation, with the elevation. So I agree with the prior speakers. And not just only for that location, but the new bank that's on the corner of Magnolia and Government. You have to pull out into the road to see oncoming traffic from either direction. What we're doing with these 0 setbacks, whatever those setbacks are today, because we're endangering motorists, cyclists, and pedestrians. And all too often I have a difficult time pulling out, and there's someone walking by, and it's almost a near hit. We're creating a very dangerous situation. The road itself is quite narrow as it is. So when you have two-way traffic, there's not much latitude for error. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else? We'll move forward with old business. Adopt a resolution directing the sale and award of a negotiable note of the city in the amount of not to exceed $600,000. We have Mr. Troy Johnston here to address it. And Mr. Davey Holloway.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Troy Johnston with Butler Snow. At your last meeting, you authorized the issuance of a $600,000 note to purchase some fire trucks for the city. Okay, that it was required that the note be advertised for sale to banks so they could bid on it for the purchase of the note. That note, notice was properly published in the Sun Herald. We've got an affidavit of publication from that. And this resolution awards the sale of that note. Now today, Jamie's going to go over it, but we've had 6 bids from banks, so we're due at 4 o'clock today. And we have the low bidder, and I'll let Jamie tell you about that.
Kathy Holloway, Government Consultants. We had a really good turnout, I think, getting 6 bids on a short-term note. I believe y'all have the list in front of you. The winner, and based on that and my recommendation, is Community Bank at 4.97%. My recommendation is you accept that bid. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? Board? Have any questions? No. Thank you. Thank you for going, Jamie. Is there a motion to adopt a resolution?
So move.
Second.
Got a motion from Alderman Altamont, second by Ms. Burgess. Roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Ayes have it. Motion passed. All right. New business. City of Ocean Springs Annual Independence Celebration Fireworks Show, July 3rd, 2024. Raven, will you take this, please?
Yes. So there's a couple of items under our fireworks show. Just like last year, Signet Maritime and Vice Construction will donate the barge to City of Ocean Springs for the fireworks, which means that our show will be on July 3rd. So I will need a motion to accept the barge donation. So we'll start with that one first.
I have a motion to it. Got a
Second.
motion and a second by Ms. Burgess. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay,
Ayes have it.
so the second bullet under this is to, we normally ask Jackson County, specifically Supervisor Ross and Bosarge, to help with the funding of the fireworks, just because we're in their area. So I need a motion for us to send the resolution and a letter to request assistance.
I've separated it. There's 2 different resolutions, so 2 different motions, please.
One for
Randy.
Supervisor Bosarge. We have a motion?
Motion to send the resolution to Supervisor Bosarge. Second.
Motion and a second by Alderman Impey. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, now we need a motion to send a resolution to Supervisor Ross for the same assistance.
So moved.
Got a motion from Alderman Impey,
Second.
second by Alderman Wade. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay, so the final bullet point is that we received 2 quotes for fireworks, Artisan Pyrotechnics and JM Displays. Artisan has been our provider for the last couple of years. They do meet Signet out in Pascagoula to load the barge, and then Signet pushes it here, while JM wants to load the barge in Biloxi, which doesn't make sense since they would have to pass Ocean Springs and then come back. So my recommendation is that we move forward with Artisan Pyrotechnics for our fireworks show.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Blackman, second by Alderman Altamont. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. We need a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Motion by Alderman Altamont,
Second.
second by Alderman Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Moving right along. Department reports. City clerk, we need a motion to approve the docket of claims.
Make a motion to approve the docket of claims. All expenditures are appropriate and authorized by law, and spread summary on the minutes.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Altamont, second by Ms. Burgess. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Does anyone have, well, we need a motion to authorize the adjustment of water and sewer accounts.
Well, I think there's some things we need to talk about on that one, because we have never really dismissed the fees if it was a toilet that was leaking, and two people have requested that we dismiss those fees, and so the water was used, it did go into the sewer, and we did have to treat it. So if we've never done it before, and if we start tonight, then that's going to be something we're going to have to consider doing moving forward.
I think you have to. You cannot.
Was that?
You have to move. I mean, you cannot waive those.
That's what I'm saying.
I think you're right.
If we waive the fees on these two, then this is going to open up a whole new thing for waiving sewer fees.
They just requested y'all hear it. So we put them all in front of you, but that was not the recommendation of the water staff.
So do you have a motion?
So the motion has to be to accept it minus the other two. So I make a motion that we accept the water sewer department report, removing the two with the toilet. Authorize that they didn't get use of the utility.
We got a motion? Alderman Hopper, second by Alderman Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? How's that? Okay. We got the budget amendments. Does anyone have any questions on the budget amendments? We have a motion to authorize the budget amendments. Got a motion by Alderman Impey.
Second.
Second by Alderman Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we've got building department, tree removal appeal for 3814 Cabildo Place.
Yes, sir. I actually, this gentleman was on the last meeting. I had denied removal of an oak tree in the right corner of his front yard next to his house. After he appealed it, I did go back out, and I apologize. I apparently messed some cracking in the brick over the top of a window on the front corner where the tree is located. Not sure where the root's at that's causing it, if that's what's causing it, but there is definitely separation in the mortar joints, which he had attached some pictures on. So.
Yeah, I saw that picture.
That's not the tree from the front, though, is it?
I
thought those cracks and stuff were from the tree that was removed.
No, that was apparently the peel. Yeah, because that's why I went back out to verify. And where the tree is located in the front corner of the house, it's close to the corner at the very top, between the head of the house and the window.
Looks like 3 courses.
Yeah.
Thank you there.
So you're recommending removal of the tree on the side?
Yeah.
The one on the front, though, is just the trim, the 20%.
To be safe, like I say, I couldn't find the roots that were actually under there, which they may be deep, or they didn't have a shovel or anything, but he's definitely got something causing a problem on that corner, and it's possible it could be the tree, because it is close enough and it laid in the roots, it's possible it could cause it.
Do we have somebody here that would like to speak? You'd like to?
It's my house.
If you want to come to the podium, you have anything to say in favor of the appeal?
It's Kirk Morgan. It's my house with the tree problem. Initially, I requested a tree be removed because it's, first of all, it's like 2 feet from hitting the root, but it's causing resurrection ferns to grow on the shingles. I got a letter from the Property Owners Association to clean the ferns off the shingle, and well, I need the tree to stop making the ferns. If I remove them, then I'm out to remove them constantly. And after I made the request for that permit, I was doing yard work and I saw cracks in my brick on the tree on the northwest corner. And I'm convinced that the root has caused the foundation to lift, which has caused the separation in the bricks. Although it does appear that we found it early, I would definitely like to, don't get me wrong, I love trees, I don't want to get rid of the tree, but I don't want my house to fall apart to save the tree. So I regretfully request I need that tree removed also.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions?
If that is approved, is there the opportunity to plant other trees in the yard to replace?
It's possible, I might yard full of trees.
All right. Thank you much. That's all. Do we have a motion?
I went and looked at that, so I'm gonna make a motion that we allow him to remove the tree in question at 3814 Cabildo.
Got a motion by Alderman Blackman. Second by Alderman Entry. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion passes. All right, general public comment. Anybody? Yes, ma'am.
My name's Ginger Stennis. I live at 1120 East Cherokee Glen. I've lived in Ocean Springs for the past 59 years. I spent my childhood playing on Front Beach because I grew up just a block off the beach. This beach is a gem to our community and to the people who visit here. It's one of the reasons they come here. I am not in favor of proposed marina development, and I implore you to reconsider this. I've been out in every ward in this town over the past few weeks except for number 3, and I've spoken to many of your constituents, a lot of them, who feel the same way. The commercialization of this area will be harmful to the quality of our beach, the water, and the entire ecosystem. As a child, I would go to the harbor and fish off my dad's boat, and he told me 2 things. He said, don't keep anything you catch and don't get in the water. And I'm afraid that that's what's going to happen to the water on our beach if we allow boats in a marina down there. I'm asking every one of you to listen to the people of your community. If you are of the mindset that many people are in favor of this, then I ask you to hold meetings in your wards and hear what the people are saying. That's your job and your obligation to your constituents. Lastly, I want to remind you that each one of you was elected to be the voice of the people in this community. And your agenda and your planning should be directly related to what the people want, not what you want and not what a developer wants. Thank you.
Hello.
Joe Jewell, 210 Gamble Court in Ward 3. And as a member of Ward 3, I want to speak in opposition to the proposed marina on Front Beach and in general opposition to any commercial development on Front Beach. I don't know if any of y'all had the opportunity to attend or pass by Front Beach this past Saturday or Sunday and see all the people out there. And it was really joyful for me to see the families out there with their children. And having a main commercial development there that splits the beach essentially in half would be detrimental to that in a lot of different ways. The traffic, the boat traffic on the water, the vehicle traffic on the road. But I mainly want to speak to the environmental impacts. It's something that is more in my purview. I think I've read most of the Cypress report. I've read a lot of those type of reports in my career working for the state and other federal agencies. And that report it speaks very generally, very vaguely. And there are things in there that are inaccurate. They say there are no wetlands or seagrasses nearby. That's not true. And those people, citizens that live here know that's not true. So the report is not as accurate as it can be. It's a lot of cut and paste of general information in there. There's a lot of specifics that need to be addressed by this board and this city that are not. They're going to plan to go ahead with that. One of the things is that the state of Mississippi, the Department of Marine Resources, is a voting member on the Interstate Shellfish Sanitation Conference. If a marina is built and all marinas or harbors built, there's a 1,000-foot buffer zone around it, where no shellfish management can occur. It essentially blocks off the ability of the state, Department of Marine Resources, of the city, to do anything with those oysters in there. So that's something that needs to be considered. I did see mentioned in there. I've asked, sent all of y'all emails, and asked that if y'all intend to move forward on that an environmental impact statement be made, and that there be public meetings conducted. So the public, the citizens that live here, they have that institutional knowledge, can comment. And there's a lot of scientists here in this community, Gulf Coast Research Laboratory, the laboratories out in Pascagoula that have a lot of specific scientific knowledge that can address some of the pros and cons of this development. Now, that being said, I'm not in favor of any commercial development. That includes the green space. I think there should be a green space for public access. And in that vein, I want to compliment the city for the improvements they've done at Marpar Park and some of the signage around the city that makes it easier for us to navigate. So it's not all negative. And I'm not totally against a marina. I'm just against the marina and commercialization of Front Beach. Thank you.
Thank
Karen Stennis, 399 McGinnis Avenue. I have 2 points, 2 things to talk about, but I'll make it quick. I've come in here various times, spoken to y'all, and my concern is that you're not listening to your constituents. As my sister stood up here and talked about walking the communities, I've been walking those communities too, and I've not come across but one single person that I've talked to that is for that marina or for the development that's going on in this town. And that one person is the mayor's wife.
Mayor's not married.
So,
That's funny.
yeah,
Mayor's not married to us.
well, his girlfriend, whoever it was, Susan. So, thought I saw marital pictures on Facebook though. Anyway, my problem is that you need to listen to these folks. You need to listen to people talk. Go out into the communities and talk to folks, because everybody I've talked to is very frustrated and aggravated, and I don't think that I'm talking to just biased people. I ran across a guy today on Perryman, and he says, I'm very upset about all of this. I said, well, let's do something about it. You got to talk to your alderman. And so I think listening, and so many times I sit here and I watch and I look, and right now I have an attentive audience, but many times it appears, the perception is that you're unattentive because some of you are looking down, whether you're looking down at a computer or a phone or whatever, but it puts across the perception that you're not engaged or you don't want to listen to it. And so it's very frustrating. The second issue is the marina, and we've talked about that, you've heard about that. I don't see the need for it. We have absolutely no need for it. It's going to destroy our beach. It's going to destroy the family, kid-friendly atmosphere we have down there. And what about those residents? Commercialization thrown right in their face. They pay good, hard taxes, and they shouldn't have to put up with that. The irony of this administration is destroying the things that bring people to this quaint town. So please, consider this, consider it hard, talk to your constituents, because I think you'll find a different story than you're hearing from some of these other folks. Thanks.
I came last time, specifically last meeting, to talk about the marina. Again, I'm strictly opposed to it. I don't see a need for it. Point Caddy's open. Our mayor made a statement. He said, Gulfport has Jones Park, Biloxi has casinos. What does Ocean Springs have? What does Ocean Springs have? Wow, what a question. We don't have any commercialized beach. You want to take the Fayard site, and you want to make a food truck and an event center out of it. Why? You have the Fort Mall Park where you have your Friday at the Park with music. Why do you want to do that on Fayard property? Leave it as it is. Make it natural, normal, green space. Put a fishing pier out there. Do a slide bulkhead. Leave the beach as it is. All right? You can hear me. I don't know. Y'all need to get the speaker system fixed in this place. Because I can't never hear y'all. All I hear is AAA. All right? I'm done. Thank you.
My name's Ed Aldridge. It's my property that this marine is going in front of. No one wants it. I'm so disappointed in the mayor. Party point, but no insight in what the people feel about this project. No one wants it. My God, I pay a lot of taxes. Anybody here pay more than $14,000 a year? And that's homestead. I'm gladly paying it. I'm paying it for the view, front beach. Please don't do this. Please don't. It affects us all. People are depressed, pessimistic. That's the environment you're creating for us. Why? For something you want? We don't want it. Hey, let's have a fundraiser at my house. For Mayor Holloway. What do you say? If you destroy this whole idea, we will raise money for your next campaign. Can I have a second on that? I will provide the liquor, the food, and the music. Please, seriously, this is the wrong thing to do. Anyone that lives here, and I don't know if you ever even come down there and know what it's like to live down there, and enjoy it like the rest of us do. But you got to take this into serious consideration. This is one of the biggest mistakes you've ever made. And I don't think you want that in your reputation. Thank you. Thanks.
I'm a little more prepared this time. I always speak out when I hate that. There are those that are troubled with the potential loss of their privacy.
Ma'am, state your name and address, please. I'm sorry.
3300 Nottingham. There are those that are troubled with the potential loss of their privacy where their beautiful homes stand today, where you want to put a parking lot. Just not long ago, a couple of weeks ago, they were alarmed by a recent activity of noise, drunkenness, unethical behavior by those who chose to disrespect private property. Phase 1, I believe, is what you're calling it now. And such happenings will escalate no matter how pretty you make it. First of all, no to a marina. I don't need to rehash all the cons with this picture. It's wrong. It's been outlined all over social media, and there's not too many pros that follow this. No to the RV park that you already passed against the wishes of hundreds. The overdevelopment.
We didn't have anything to do with RV park.
That's in the county.
Okay, then my apologies. It's been done though. The overdevelopment and commercialization of this town's most prized possession far surpasses the rate at which environmental, ecological, and I hope I can say this word right, infrastructurally impact can be properly assessed yet. For developers, changes that our city officials and Board of Aldermen and women have enabled you to ensure that some of the projects that should fit sensitively into our neighborhoods and town have demonstrated your disregard for the concerns of the residents. Yes, we do question you for your accountability. Why wouldn't we? Most of us haven't lived, we've lived here all our lives, some haven't. But we need to know that we can trust you because we're having a diminishing disappointment in you because of your indifference and inattention to the values that we hold true in our hearts. When we ask for transparency from the start, we're asking you to do the job you were voted in to do. Listen to your constituents' wishes and concerns. We want nothing more than to be able to trust you to look after our town as though it was your own home, okay? We've offered many alternatives to the money that you have in your hands that are burning a hole in your pockets. We're not Biloxi, we're not Gulfport, we're not Pascagoula, we're Ocean Springs, we're family, we're showing up to hold you responsible for the future. We're lighting up our community with activism and mobilization. And I will leave you with this by Thornton Wilder. We can only be said to be alive in those moments when our hearts are conscious of our treasures. When the whole world is silent, even one voice becomes powerful.
I'm Spencer Buskirk, 1204 Calhoun Street. I think everyone was sending a loud and clear message to the city, at least in the neighborhoods I drove, with the Save OS signs in the yards, which I don't know if it was at the direction of the mayor, but the city has been picking up for the last 2 days. Seems like a B-U-S-K-I-R-K. With all the other problems we have with this city and going on, it seems like a colossal waste of time and energy, time and resources by the city. I've lived at 1204 Calhoun Street for 14 years now, put yard signs in the exact same location for 14 years and have never had one removed. The fact that this one seems to be critical, and perhaps if the mayor walks my street in the mornings and doesn't like seeing all the signs, may have something to do with it. I don't know. I understand there's an ordinance that possibly it violates, but again, has not been enforced in 14 years. Choosing to do so now seems like it's directed at the Save OS organization specifically. And the alderman made some comment about why, the mayor made a comment about why now everyone's speaking. Well, the voices are being said, it's being put out there. You drive around, you see the signs, it's very vocal. I'm going to put another sign in my yard. If it's removed again, I'll be back to have further discussion. Thank you.
Brandy Hooper, 313 Jackson Avenue. I'm here to express my sincerest opposition to Phase 1 public access, which is nothing more than a gravel parking lot. I have reached out to Ricky, my alderman. I have reached out to Mr. Guys, to the governor, to General Spraggins. I'm the one that has sent very disturbing videos of very inappropriate conduct that is occurring on the historic Reynolds lot. I have offered to Governor Reeves a live surveillance video where he can see not only the conduct, but also that there is no need for additional parking lot, usually on the front beach. There is always parking on the street. Culturally, people pull up on that lot, they do donuts when there's street parking readily available. I go check at the fort, there's plenty of parking available. There's parking at the harbor. There is no need for parking, and again, I'm willing to provide a live surveillance video to any of you because I can see the lot right off my front porch day and night. In addition, someone else also brought up my 11-month-old daughter's window faces this parking lot. Is this the environment that we want to create for our kids? We have a middle schooler who committed suicide this year. Do you know what I also see at the beach? I see kids out there that come for a retreat, to decompress. I see families. We cannot commercialize this beach. We have 1 mile of a precious resource. There is no need. We can go through the historic conservation, we can go through historic preservation. It doesn't matter that it's the oldest site in the state of Mississippi, 1699. It doesn't matter that across from the proposed parking lot, the house is on the Department of the Interior's historic register. Do we not care about that? Do you know what the perfect place for new live oak trees to be planted for us to hire an arborist and add some shade? Since we have a new campaign for that, I'm so thankful that that presentation was today because I know the perfect place for some more live oak trees. The Reynolds lot. How about that? That would be a lot more cost effective than $600,000 for a gravel parking lot that's going to end up in my yard. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Do any of you know when the Deepwater Horizon oil spill happened? Do any of you know the date?
April 20th, this week is the 14-year anniversary, 2010. This $25 million that the mayor has hired lobbyists on the city's payroll to help acquire for the city is blood money. 11 people died, and now you want to spend it to create more environmental harm on a marina? Our sewage system is leaking. We have toxic waste at Pine Street where my son is playing t-ball right this very minute, and I'm having to miss that game because I'm here to deal with this. So that the property value of my home that my husband and I have invested in will not be depreciated. I manage money for a living. I manage risk, hundreds of millions of dollars. Have any of you conducted any studies on the risk associated with a marina? 100% risk, 0% reward. Take into consideration your citizens. Your schools are overflowing. I'm paying property taxes and having to send my child to private school because I'm scared he's going to be bullied. Get it together.
Is there anyone else would like to address the board? Up to 3 minutes.
I'm just gonna go back to that side triangle that I was talking about earlier, and I mean, where it's in the ordinance, it's more about talking about plants and stuff, but it does talk about structures, so I'm just wondering if a building has to be out of the side triangle. And if that's something that's being looked at when you go you know, letting variances be up to the edge of properties. And, okay, and I'm gonna go back to my thing I've been on for a year now, the PUD. Is there a maximum amount that you can, a developer can get for a variance? I've asked this question a million times.
To the board, that Ms. Salon is obviously still in a lawsuit with the city technically on a PUD, so I'll direct anyone not to comment. I'm directing the board not to comment. Ms. Salon is in a lawsuit regarding the PUD ordinance.
Does anybody else want to ask this question? What was the question? The question is,
Ma'am,
This is not a question and answer.
We'll get through her 3 minutes and then you'll have a chance. And then,
okay, well, I'm just wondering, so you passed a PUD a year ago, and I've asked a million times, and no one can answer what the maximum amount of a variance can be for the PUD. In other words, how small can a setback be? Can you get a setback on a building in a PUD and it can be 1 foot from the people behind its backyard? And anybody want to come ask those questions after I finish? Maybe they'll answer it for you. Okay, so one other question. Have any of you read a cost estimate to build the marina or a financial analysis on the marina? Any of the Board of Aldermen? Have you seen it and read it?
financial analysis.
Cost estimate?
Where, is Mark still in the room?
Okay.
Mark is still in the room?
Yeah, he's right here.
Okay, and I'll also say my mom's sign on Calhoun was also taken up. It was quite a bit in her yard. Thank you.
Thank you. We have time for one more speaker.
Hi, my name is Marilyn Quinn. I live at 302 Pine Drive on the corner of Pine and Kensington, and I am in Kevin Ward's district. My signs were taken. My signs originally were up in the middle of my yard, both no to the convention center, and no to destroying Ocean Springs. But I have a problem where I live. My problem is with Ocean Springs golf carts. And my problem is that we've worked really, really hard on that little cottage, trying to make it much, much more than what it was when we bought it 6 years ago. And we've worked really hard on the yard, trying to make it look nice. We're catty corner to the Inner Harbor Park. But we believe, we can't prove it, but we'd love for the city to put some cameras there at the park focusing on the four-way stop signs, because we believe it's teenagers who decide that they don't need to go through the road stop signs. So they decide to cut through my yard. So they cut through a couple of weeks ago and left a 12-inch trench through my ryegrass. And you can still see it. I've been filling it up each time when they mow my yard, trying to get it built back up. So I purposefully moved my signs out to try to keep them from cutting through my yard there. Well, this morning my signs were both gone. What do I do? Can I go legally put the little barrier rods with reflectors to keep people from cutting across my corner of my property? What do I do? But second note, I'm a voter. I have been all my life. No to a marina.
Why you can't answer, why you can't answer a question
And
about
you're in a lawsuit
ordinance?
with the city, please sit down.
It's just telling me what an ordinance says. That has nothing to do with the lawsuit.
We're going to follow the direction of the council. Ms. Julie, please,
But it
we'll.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
We're
It
going to
has
close.
nothing to do with the lawsuit.
We're closing
What an
public
ordinance
comment.
says.
We've used our time.
You can't tell me what
You
any of the
can ask
ordinances say?
if you have anything other than what she's asking.
I won't say nothing on hers.
Okay, go ahead. We'll let you
Okay,
talk, and then
Brady.
this is it. We've already passed our time.
Brandy Schneider, 3902 Baywood Lane. I want to know what's going on with the inner road. We was told 2 years ago that y'all was widening it, y'all was putting in sidewalks. Today, leaving to go to school, I saw 3 kids, 3 teenagers about 12 years old, almost get hit because there's no walkways from the end of Baywood up past Aldi's. Kids walk to Walmart all the time.
I can address it, or Mike, would you like to?
I'd be happy to address it. The project is designed, was ready to go out for bids. 3 days before it went out for bids, the county pulled their portion of the funding. We're attempting to fund that ourselves, and hopefully, I think the funding's going to be in place where we can get that started, hopefully, in probably the summer of this year. Once we get the funding, the bid package is ready to go. It's been designed, and it's been aggravating to me as well.
Okay.
I mean, we had meeting after meeting after meeting, and 3 days before it was going out for bid, the county decided they didn't have the funding for whatever reason. I mean, they've helped us out a lot in the past, but that was kind of frustrating for me.
I know they're in Jackson as we speak, trying to pull that funding home, so that, and I think it's a joint deal up there right now.
It is, but
all parties.
It is, but I've talked to Mayor Holloway, and I know it impacts Ward 5 too, because once you get past Groveland Road, that between Groveland and Ocean Springs Road, that whole arm there is Ward 5, and it's something that Mr. Blackman and I have been on top of for a long time. It's frustrating I drive Dean almost every day. It's frustrating for me too, and I've talked to Mayor Holloway. He's on top of it, and we're hoping Raleigh Road Improvement Project is under design right now as well. our engineers, anybody who drove Riley recently that saw the little flags out there, it is being surveyed for a road project there as well. And trying to nail down the funding for that as well. But as soon as we get the funding in place, we're going to pull that project.
Hopefully we'll do something possibly by tomorrow, whether that funding was received.
That's where Mayor Holloway is, right? He's up in Jackson.
Done before all these
Right.
even be put in.
Well,
So
you
now
know.
we have 18-wheelers coming down there, and heaven forbid you try to get past with a trash truck, you go in the ditch. If anybody's been down Vienna, we know the ditches, the road just drops. So if you go past a trash truck, your car's getting tore up. I've just put thousands of dollars in mine because of this. 18-wheelers are going down there cutting, people are cutting through my neighborhood to get around that stop sign, because trying to turn there with other cars, it is horrendous. And so we have people speeding through.
I understand. I've got.
Definitely a necessity to get that road widened and sidewalks put in place.
Okay, one other thing I wanted to ask. With the putting buildings right up to the sidewalk, we have to pull out onto Government Street. If I have to pull the front of my car out on Government Street just to see if something's coming and I get hit, who's paying for that?
That would be, depends on
That
if
would
you
not
get
be my
hit
insurance. That would be a.
the situation. I could not answer that
Exactly.
question.
I mean, we already had somebody say to get out of the bank, you have to pull out onto the road. If you pull out to try to see if something is coming because there is a building blocking your way, heaven forbid, my kid's on that side of the car that gets hit and he gets hurt or he gets killed. Who's gonna replace my son because he's not replaceable?
Correct.
This is something that needs to be thought about when we are talking about putting buildings all the way up to a sidewalk. Just throwing it out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dave, we're shutting it down. No, we're past our time, Dave. I'm sorry. We've already had 2 turns. We're shutting that down. We're closed for the public comment, Dave. We're gonna move on to Alderman's Forum. All right. We're moving on to Alderman's Forum. All right, we're gonna move on. Ms. Burgess, do you have anything for Alderman's Forum?
A whole bunch of others. That's it. Yeah.
Alan, I know we've talked about, excuse me, we've talked about the, excuse me.
I'll leave. I'm leaving. Good, thank you.
Good.
The street signs for Culleoka. We ordered the original, they mishandled that, so we had to order them again.
I'm hoping they'll be in by the end of the week or the first of next week.
Okay, I know they've been kind of dodgy, this company that we're ordering from, so hopefully, if you don't hear anything by the end of the week, then we need to find another vendor. Okay, thank you. That's all I've got.
That's it? Okay, I got a couple things. OSEF has already gotten approval for their event on May 3rd, from 6 to 9 at the Mary C. And they have asked that the city waive the fees for the light plants for that fundraiser. So I have a motion that we waive the fees for the light plants.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? How's that?
All right, next thing. Last meeting, Bobby discussed 3 of us going and talking to the supervisors about what their views were for Front Beach and some ideas that they had that they may want to get involved in. And I'm not committing the county by no means in this conversation, but there were a couple alternatives that came up for a marina if they were going to move forward with one. We don't find a need to have the marina at the site where the Fayard property is, and I have a motion that we task Cypress Engineering to move forward with the permits for the dredging, for the bulkhead, and the finger pier, and leave the marina off of it.
We have a motion and a second by Alderman Blackman. All in favor, or discussion? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Wait a minute. Time out. I thought we had to do a roll call, no?
No, it's just directing
Any
the
nays?
engineers to move forward with permitting for just the bulkheading, a finger pier, and dredging the old channel that was there.
And not the,
Not the marina project.
something else.
In the current, right, that's a different phase.
Correct. We had a motion, a second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
That's it.
How's that? All right. Wade? You got anything for Alderman Moore?
No, I'm good.
Blackman? Mr. Empey?
I've got a couple of housekeeping items for.
Please, hold it down, please. We're still conducting the meeting.
I've got a couple of just housekeeping items for Human Resources. Need to make a motion to accept the resignation of firefighter Quentin Clark effective April 14, 2024, and authorized to begin the process of filling the vacant position.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? How's that?
Make a motion to accept the termination of probationary planning clerk employee 2715 effective April 15th, 2024, authorized to begin the process of filling the vacant position.
We have a motion by Alderman Empey.
Second.
Second by Alderman Burgess. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
That's all I got, Bob.
Oh, yeah? And I have nothing, so we.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, we got one.
Make a motion to go into
closed session.
Got a motion by Alderman Blackman,
Second.
second by Alderman Burgess to go into closed session to determine the need for executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Last time, as a joke, and actually went in his face.
Thank you, Al. Thank you.
That was the ordinance? No, I'm talking about. I am talking, well, he doesn't have to.
You know you said a lawsuit. You called it the bill and passed it to the PUD, did you not? Yes, you did.
I think that's all.
It's one of your 7 appeals.
That's all.
It has not been
But I
discussed.
asked the question.
He's not going to respond. I'm going to tell you
But
not
the
to
answer to the
respond.
question wouldn't be answered either.
Sam is a fully capable attorney, Mr. Geis.
I can't respond on that. Not involving litigation.